Hello, everyone. It's me, DeAndre from Connecticut. I want to tell you all about my favorite music artist and singles collection and tracks and albums, as well as some of my favorite TV shows and series and some of my favorite movies. One of my favorite TV shows are iCarly, Casey Undercover, Sam and Cat, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Family Matters, with Steve Urkel in it. Disney's Shake It Up with Bella Thorne and Zendaya. And the last but not least, it is Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Now, on to my favorite music artist and legends. Elvis Presley is one of my favorite music artists and icons. He has a smooth, melodious voice. He sings from the heart, and all of his singles I just love and I just admire Elvis Presley. My next favorite music artist and icon is Bob Dylan. He put out some good singles, and just like Elvis Presley, Bob Dylan sings from the heart. He has that smooth, melodious voice just like Elvis Presley. Now, Woody Guthrie is another one. Woody Guthrie, Elvis Presley, and Bob Dylan, all the way to Neo and Usher, Katy Perry, and Melanie Fiona, and Taylor Swift. Those are one of my favorite music artists and icons. The reason why is because they have that character in them, and I like their styles, especially Neo's style and Usher's style. Oh, how could I ever forget about Chris Brown's style and Fabulous. I love Neo and Fabulous when they came out with their single You Make Me Better. I'm telling you, those are the types of hits and singles that I just admire and love, and I listen to them whenever I get a chance at times. Music these days during 2018, 2019, and 2020 is just not the same as back then during 2008, 2007, and so forth. Music these days is not the same. It's like things just change with the music and the types of rhythm, and it doesn't sound like it like back then in 2008, even from 2016 and 2017. It's like the more modern time gets and the more as the years go by, is like, in my opinion, to me, music and on all of these different types of singles and artists, they're not the same as the classic genre artist, such as Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, James Brown, Billy Ocean with his Caribbean Queen single, and Depeche Mode, the group, and Guns N' Roses. But those legendary icons and artists had real voices, and they have good talent during the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, and as well as the early 2000s. Those are some more of my favorite artists and icons. Because again, one of my favorite genres of music are heavy metal, hard rock, classic alternative, pop, and anything that sounds good to me, and anything that has a message and that sounds inspirational, and that's from the heart. Music, the type of music that I like has to sound authentic and for real, and it has to be inspirational, and it just has to sound good to me, and it has to have that has a certain beat. Like, for example, I don't know if all of you or any of you who are watching this heard of this single Headlines by Drake, and the single Find Your Love by Drake. Now those are the types of singles that I admire and that I listen to. And I don't care how old the track or the album is, because to be honest with you, to me, it doesn't matter how old an album or a track single or even how old an artist is. I can't stand it these days when my generation, which is Gen Z, or the millennial generation, however you want to call it, criticizes and ridicules music artists and music singles and albums just because they came out from 1960s, the 70s, or the 80s, or the 90s, or even the early 2000s. They even criticize 2016 and 2017, saying, "Oh, those are too old. That is so old. That's like 10 years ago, bro." They don't. Some from my generation need to understand that music is music, no matter what time period or what era or generation it comes from. Music is music, no matter what. Now, any of you can disagree or agree with me, but why should we put number and age on music and albums and track singles? I don't understand that. That's like putting number and age on our loved ones and the ones who we love and our friends. We should not be putting age or number on anyone or each other. That's why I always have a difference of opinion when it comes to certain types of music and ballads and jams that I listen to, because some of my peers, which are Generation Z, just look at a certain album or a certain title of a soundtrack music artist, and they're just quick to criticize it as being, oh, it's too, that's 10 years ago, that's too old. We've got to stop doing that. It doesn't matter how old the music is or how old the artist is or whether or not a certain album or track single came from the 1960s or the 1970s or the 1990s, etc. It doesn't matter. We all have to learn to appreciate all types of music, no matter what year it came from or how many years it's been out or how old it is or how new it is, whatever. Music is music no matter how old it is and no matter where it comes from. I don't care if a music comes from Africa or Asia or from Greece or wherever. Music is, all types of music are unique. But in my perspective and my taste, I listen to anything from Elvis Presley, Aretha Franklin, Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, Guns N' Roses, all the way to Katy Perry and Drake and Neo and Usher. Because they sound good to me. And they are from the heart. And this type of the things that they say and their lyrics are clean for the most part. And they're not dirty lyrics. That is why I like those types of music and music artists and icons, because I see something in them that some of my generation, which they don't see, like what I see in these music artists and icons. They don't see the real talent, and they're just quick to criticize music and albums as being too old and putting age and number on music. Another thing that I want to tell any of you and all of you out there is that my childhood was very different from most out there. My childhood and adolescence and teenage life and style did not revolve around video games. And I'm serious. I am being legitly serious. I've never owned a video game system ever of any type whatsoever. I've never experienced or had any video game systems of any kind all throughout my years. My life revolves around doing yard work and yard labor around my property and my house. I like to keep myself active. I move up and down. I do different things. I'm not a selfie person. I am not obsessed with selfies, because the only reason and the only instance where I take a selfie is to put my profile picture on anything, like an account or etc., anything like that. But other than that, I am not a selfie person, except for those instances where I have to create an account and where I have to put my picture on a profile to represent. And I am being very serious. That's what makes me different from the other Generation Z and some of my, and a lot of my other peers. I am not into video games. Again, I've never had any video game systems before in my life, and I just don't care for them. I just grew up and I was brought up on archery, bow and arrow. I've canoeing, fishing, fly fishing. Cause when I was in the Boy Scouts and the Police Explorer program and the Youth Leadership program, I just I just love being active physically, and I love moving up and down. I like playing sports such as football, hockey, tennis, soccer, catch, dodgeball, you name it. I like that rough physical rigorous physical activity. And earlier today I was stacking up bricks and stones in my yard. Why? Because I like to keep myself active however I can, and doing those types of things help me build muscle and my physical endurance, and it just helps me keep physically active and mentally healthy. And those are the things that I have done over my years, and that's how my childhood was like. And as you can see, I have on my black long sleeve. No matter if it's 80 degrees, 90 degrees, or however the temperatures are, I love my black long sleeve tops, and I like my black leggings and tights. They mean a lot to me. That's just my style. That's just who I am. And I'm gonna say this like again, I hate and dislike sweatpants of any kind. To all of you who are watching this, I hate and dislike sweatpants of any kind. The only things, and the only clothes and materials that I wear are black skinnies, black denim skinny jeans, and other types of denim material, tights, leggings, and other materials that are not sweatpants or any of those similar materials. Why? Again, that's just who I am. I've never worn or owned sweatpants. I've never had a hoodie before. I don't like hoodies. I'm not a hoodie person. I'm not someone to wear a hoodie or to wear sweatpants. They're just not me. When it's cold outside during the winter, and when the temperatures and the weather are frigid and cold and bitter, I always wear my black long sleeve nylon and polyester material tops, and I always wear either my cheap sneakers, my Swiss Army boots, and my tactical desert sand color tactical boots. That's how I have always been dressing, and that's just my style. That is my way of putting myself together. Even when I go to sleep, when I'm getting shut eye, when I'm in my bed sleeping, all I wear is black leggings and tights that are of nylon and polyester material, and my black long sleeve polyester and nylon material tops. That is all I wear to sleep, to go out, anywhere. And I like it. I like the way I put myself together, and I like the way I dress. That is me. That is my style. Those are my ways. And the last thing I want to tell all of you is I have not had a social life all throughout my years. I've never had a social life growing up all throughout my childhood, adolescence, even my teenage years. Not even now. I've never had a big social life. It's not that I don't want to, but the things that a lot of my generation like to do are go to bars and go to clubs and drink liquor, alcohol, get drunk. Those are not my types of things to do. That is not my way of having fun. I don't understand. I just don't get it. What I don't understand is bars, alcohol, liquor. I'm just different in my own way. I'm just different. My life does not revolve around bars, liquor, and alcohol, or even tattoos and piercings or nose rings. I'm just different, and I stand out. But you know what? That's just me. I mean, maybe it's because my parents didn't do those things all throughout the years. Like I'm even against weed, and I'm against all types of drugs that are illegal and unlawful. My parents grew up differently too. My father did not even have the type of life that you would expect an average American to have. He's never smoked, he never had tattoos. He's never liked drugs of any kind. And the same goes for my mother. Both my parents, especially my mother, they grew up very different from how most an average American has grew up during the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and all throughout the generations. My parents' life have not revolved around tattoos, piercings, or even a big social life. And it's just how they are, and that's just who we are as Jamaicans, because I was born here in Connecticut, and my parents being straight up from Jamaica, they have not done drugs or any type of weed, ganja, or any of those illegal, unlawful substances and disgusting, sinful things. My most of my family, especially both of my father's side and mother's side, like like my uncles and aunts and my cousins, we're from a different family breed. We're from a different clan. The things that my parents and I do are just different from how what an average American does. We're not party animals. We don't our life does not revolve around parties or wild parties or things like that. The only parties and functions that I've been to were family functions that comprised of 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, some 40-year-olds, and that's it. I've never experienced a high school party or a college party or anything like that. And that's just a straight up truth. I hope all of you understood and grasped everything I've said, and the things that about my life, and the things about me and my ways, about my parents and I and my other family members. I hope all of you heard what I had to say. I'll stay tuned for more of my videos and channel. Good night. Bye-bye.